the ball rolling on this. I would imagine that you're, for the most part, pretty happy to see Oberhof in your rearview mirror.
Justin Andrew. Yeah. Well, Oberhof didn't go too great for us, but we were definitely happy to be leaving there and going to Norway, which is a more favorable track for us.
Okay, Andrew, what makes Oberhof, the tricky track that it is? It's obviously not very long. What is there about it?
Yeah, it's a really technical track, and the corners are really close together and it's really tight. So anything can happen in there, and we just had a little bit of problems down in curve 12, and that messed up our 13, and then we dipped down and rose up on the end and just kind of flipped us over and pancaked us into the wall.
Okay, but you guys walked away from it. We saw that. So everybody feeling okay going into Lillehammer now physically?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're all good.
Okay, good. And Matt and Jason, probably happy to get away from these start ramps of the last couple of weeks and move on to Lillehammer?
Yep, I'll say that's accurate. Oh, that's accurate.
Okay. What do you look forward to most about going to Lillehammer?
We're here now. It's actually great weather. It's a bunch of snow on the ground. It's kind of like we left, the very usual weather of Oberhof being foggy and kind of crappy to being in a winter wonderland, which is awesome. There's like 2 to 3 feet of snow on the ground here when we got here, and all day today. It's supposed to be clear tomorrow, but snow again Thursday, Friday. So it's kind of nice to finally get a little bit of winter being involved with such a winter sport.
Okay. And Matt, you want to pick up anything from there regarding moving on now to this former Olympic track from '94?
No, I think Jason pretty much nailed it.
Okay, very good. I think we picked up maybe another media person on the call. We've got Jennifer from NBC 10 in Philadelphia. And anybody who wants to ask a question of Matt, Jason, Justin, and Andrew, please feel free. And Jennifer, you got 2 Pennsylvania guys on this call, so you can have at it.
Oh, hello, guys. So I'm catching up on what you guys have been up to. So I heard you guys talking about Oberhof and how you didn't really like that track. You're looking forward to what you're about to do in Norway. What do you guys know about the track in South Korea, and how are you feeling about what it's going to be like once you get there?
To anybody in particular? Jason, why don't you start with that, then we'll switch it over to Andrew.
Yeah. Hey, Jennifer, this is Jason. We've actually been to the track in South Korea twice now. It's a lot different from the track we were just at in Germany in Oberhof. It's not so tight cornered, quick transition. It's a little bit longer and more open of a track, more high speed, not as much driving, which tends to favor the style that Matt and I slide extremely well, which is great. I'm sure the other guys will be fast there as well, Justin and Andrew. But track here in Norway is very similar in style of sliding to the track in Youngstown. So it's great for us to be here just a few weeks out from the game, just to try and get back in that mind frame. And just getting away from Germany is always great. 4 races here. They're the only country that gets that. Thing to have home ice advantage, and to go to a neutral site like we are now kind of levels out the playing field for us, and we're very much looking forward to racing here this weekend and then even again next week in Latvia.
Okay, Andrew, you want to pick up from that concept?
Yeah, sure. Like you said, this is a very similar track to Korea. The only difference is in Korea there is one curve that is very problematic to a lot of double teams. Curve 9. It's just built a little strange, so it's hard to come out, and you get a lot of lateral pressure when you come out. But other than that, great.
Okay. Other questions?
You were talking about, this is Jennifer again. I heard you guys talking about Germany. I've been reading a little bit about it. It looks like those guys are your biggest competition, and Team USA is trying to get its first Olympic gold. Can you talk a little bit about that rivalry that you guys have?
Oh, there's always been a huge rivalry between well, I guess mostly Germany because they help go most of the time, but it's really hard to put down the results on a German track. Have everything dialed down. They know what they're doing. So when we get off their home track, it gives us a little bit of an edge, and hopefully we can throw down some medal runs.
Jennifer, did you catch that? I know there was a few seconds there where maybe it was not as clear.
Okay. No, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, very good. From a standpoint of your guys' health, physical well-being, is everybody kind of in a good place now, as we get close to the end of the World Cup season?
Hey, this is Matt. Yeah, I think everybody's in a pretty good place, physically and mentally. We have just two athletes, which is myself and Emily Sweeney, have had a little bit of minor injuries from last week that we're getting over. Mine was with my back, and I'm feeling good. Not quite 100%, but feeling pretty good. And I think Emily's feeling a lot better last week and is looking forward to get back on the ice. But everyone's been looking forward to, like we said, get out of Germany and get on some other tracks and move forward towards the Olympic Games.
Okay. And Jennifer, I think you may be the only person at this point, so you've got, you are the captive audience here.
Yeah, I've just been trying to catch up on your guys' backgrounds and everything like that. Andrew, I think I read that you made the team by about 0.06 of a second. Is that the kind of like close results that we can expect to see probably between the teams as we get to the Olympics?
I would say probably not, only because Germany usually, they might not have as big of an advantage since they're not on the home track, but they tend to be very quick in every track they go to, so they might have a couple tenths lead on other people. But as for other nations like Canada and Austria, it might be a little closer.
And Andrew, I also read that you were really into skateboarding as you were growing up. Is that something that you equate to like doing the luge now? Is that
Wait, can you repeat that?
I think I was reading that you were into skateboarding a lot when you were growing up in Pennsylvania. Is that something that you have used as you've moved into your luge career?
Well, it definitely helped because when I was little, I would lay down on my skateboard and actually kind of simulate luge.
Mm-hmm.
And I modified my skateboard and built kind of like a street luge sled.
Okay.
It definitely started early on for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, actually, if you're here in the summer, you'd see Andrew cruising around town on his skateboard. So it's not unusual.
You think you can are you going to be able to bring that to Korea with you, or?
No way. I wish I could, but it's too big.
Yeah.
Other questions, Jennifer, for anybody here on the call, any of the four doubles guys? Now, maybe we could talk a little bit about the exchange of information that goes on between the two doubles teams, trying to help one another out. Can you kind of give us a sense, guys, of how that works, let's say in a typical training day or session, how does that, camaraderie work out?
So, for instance, today, we went out to the track to do a track walk, and we did that as a discipline, as the doubles discipline, just to go over lines, because, we're a little bit more top-heavy than the single sleds, and we might have to take a few different lines. So it's good for us to go over that amongst ourselves so we can figure out the fastest way down the track.
Then, Matt, Jason, want to maybe embellish upon that?
Yeah, like Justin said, we did a track walk together. Throw ideas at each other what we think is going to be fastest. We don't really know until we get on the ice tomorrow. And I'm sure nothing will go, exactly according to plan, as the sport is pretty much improvisation all the way down the hill. But once we get done, we'll talk amongst our own teams, and we'll talk together as a unit of doubles and try and really figure out where people are having our issues, how can we get over these problems, what's the best way to attack the next run, and overall what's the best plan to bring on race day.
Okay. Is anybody hearing anything about, Olympic preparations? Are you seeing anything on social media? Or are you getting any word through the teams as to how things are going over there in Pyeongchang? Can you impart any information like that on us?
Not really. Yeah, I haven't really seen anything.
Okay, yeah, we've been monitoring here and haven't seen a whole lot there other than, some pictures every now and then. And I guess I'm looking at the weather, and it looks like winter. Temperatures are like winter. So I think the people I've talked to are thinking it's not going to be Sochi Springtime Olympics, which I think would probably be pretty nice.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Jennifer, want to keep the ball rolling, or anybody want to add anything? Go ahead.
I'm good right now. I just wanted to get familiar with you guys, and hopefully we can all meet up again once we're in Korea together and see how you guys do. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Jennifer, you're going to be coming over as well as Keith?
Yes, I'll be with Keith. And I'm going to make some more contact with the people through email and everything. So hopefully we can all stay in touch as we're over there.
Just a couple of notes for you, Jennifer. The doubles athletes will have their press conference on February 8th at 4:30. That's what it looks like at this point. If it changes, we'll let you know. But at 4:30 on February 8th in the Mountain Press Center in Pyeongchang is when these four athletes will have their hour with the media up there.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you're following Summer Britcher, another Pennsylvania athlete.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, and she'll be on the call here in a few minutes. And the singles press conference will be on February 5th, and that'll be at 6 o'clock local time there.
Okay.
So that just give you the heads up. Otherwise, if you have no further questions, we can probably let the doubles guys go a few minutes early, and then we can just wait it out for the bottom of the hour and have the singles people come in. Is that satisfactory to you? If you have other questions, we'll be happy to entertain them.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Guys, thanks. We appreciate it, and good luck. Fast and safe this weekend.
Thank you very much. Fast as possible, baby.
Okay, absolutely. Thanks, guys. Jennifer, you staying with us on the call, or you?
Yeah,
okay.
I figured I would chat with
Summer.
Summer a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually kind of funny. I used to work in Connecticut as well, so I remember a lot of stories about Tucker West that my old sports anchor used to do with him.
Kevin.
Sochi. Yeah.
Kevin Nathan. I guess he's moved over to news now more.
Yeah. He's made that transition. It's pretty cool to watch. He's a really good guy.
Good. He's married to a woman who's got family ties up here near Lake Placid. And every time I see one of his relatives, I can bump into him sometimes at the post office, and I'll say, by the way, Don, regards to you from Kevin.
So I'm going to go through today and start, establishing like email contact with a lot of the people that Brett's been talking to. Mm-hmm. I'll just I'll try to make sure I'm on all the email lists and everything, so I can stay up to date with what's going on with the with calls like this and getting in touch with the individual athletes and stuff like that.
Let me get your email address and make sure that we'll get you into our database so that you'll get the press releases. Go ahead.
Okay, it's Jennifer dot SPO SATO at NBCUNI.com.
Right, okay. And that's S like Sandra, P like Patrick, O, S like Sandra, A-T Thomas, O.
Correct.
Okay, great. I'll put you in the database as soon as these calls are over. Also, I can let you know that in terms of access to the athletes, in addition to the press conferences, we'll be talking in the mix zone at the end of each session. So for instance, with the doubles guys, when their 2 training runs are over, then they'll talk in the mix zone. Same with the singles. It's 2 training runs a day. And after their training runs, they'll talk in the mix zone. And come race days, when the session is over, same thing. When the session is over, in the mix zone, they'll meet with the media.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
I think those are pretty much the important items that you want to know. Next week's call, if you are interested, is 1 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
They're going to Latvia, and from there to the East Coast is a 7-hour time change. So 8 o'clock there would be 1 o'clock over here.
When do you guys actually head over there?
Well, the singles athletes are going to work their way into Korea at the very end of January. We still have racing not only this weekend, but the following weekend in Latvia, the World Cup Finals. And that's the 27th and 28th. And so subsequent to that, they'll start working their way over to South Korea, go through processing, and then work their way up to Pyeongchang because we're one of the first events taking place up there. So, and that'll be singles. The doubles athletes don't have access to the Korea track until a few days later. So those guys are actually going to spend a few days in Nagano.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to train there 3 or 4 days. And then they're going to arrive in South Korea on the 8th. And then the press conference will be 4:30 on the 8th. And just as a historical note, on February 13th, we will celebrate the 20th anniversary of USA Luge's first 2 Olympic medals.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. In Nagano, in doubles, we had silver and bronze. And so it'll be a celebratory occasion, and it's also a race day for us in Korea. So hopefully we'll be able to celebrate a few things. That would be our goal. By the way, in Korea, if you want to do any kind of like a retrospective on our 20th anniversary, Gordy Shear, who won Olympic silver in doubles, will be there. In fact, he's right next to me. And Mark Grimmett, who won a bronze medal that day in doubles, he'll be there. He's our sport program director. So, you know, all the right people will be there, past and current.
Okay, great.
Okay. As we have about 8-9 minutes before the singles come to the phone. Any other way? On the call, we've got Jennifer Sposato from NBC 10 in Philadelphia, and we have Elise. I'm sorry, can you pronounce the last name? Soleil from Yahoo, who's joined us. And as I mentioned to Elise, Summer, Aaron, Emily will stay on the call at the end to get some individual time. Okay, so I'm going to start with the singles by actually kind of putting a little different wrinkle on this. I wanted to see if Aaron and Chris could talk a little bit about this really great program that both of you are involved in. It's called Classroom Champions. It's a program started by bobsled gold medalist Steve Messler. Brilliant idea, and he's brought you two into it. It doesn't matter who starts, but can you talk about Classroom Champions and how you got involved in it and what specifically you do with this involvement?
I think Erin should go first. She's been involved with this program for way longer than I have.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I was approached by Steve about 6 years ago. I think it was the second year of the program after he started it, after Vancouver, and he basically asked if I would like to do it, and I thought it was an amazing idea. I definitely relate to the reasoning that he started it, which is, as athletes, a lot of times we have the opportunity to speak to schools, and different school programs will bring us in to tell our story, kind of inspire the kids. And so you go, you give your whole spiel, and then you leave, and you never really know, if kids even absorbed any stuff that you told them, or if they ever even paid attention, to be honest. Most of the time, we'd always get really good, feedback from school visits, but this is a way that you could have a lasting impact on the students and be a part of their classroom throughout the year, and also be a part of the teachers teaching different lessons around things that we bring to the classroom. And it's for underserved schools around the U.S. and in Canada. And so it's children that need that positive influence and maybe a strong role model in their life that don't necessarily have that. So it's a really cool program that basically every month we send a video based around a certain topic that the teachers then kind of teach lessons around. Things like goal setting, perseverance, healthy living, everything that can kind of be related to students in school, in real life, and athletics as well. And then we do a couple live chats every year also.
Okay, Chris, you want to take it from there?
Yeah, I think Erin did a fantastic job summarizing the program. This is the first year that I've been able to participate with full classrooms. I've been trying to get in this program the last couple of years, and their funding has been growing, and they're bringing in more athletes, more classrooms, more students. So it is a exploding program right now. But what I love about this, I mean, essentially I am a nomad. I spend more time on the road than any other single location anywhere. My life is based out of my suitcase. So to have a positive influence on kids and be a role model, it's really difficult. You just go to a school, you talk, you leave, as Erin said, and this is a way to be really engaging and really provide like your unique experience and your life stories and be able to, help the kids through what you've learned in your life. And I love that it's focused on schools where the demographics, you really want to place a role model in these kids' lives. And I was extremely, extremely fortunate where a few of my classrooms are on military bases here in Germany. So I had a few teachers come to Königsee. I actually had some kids come to Oberhof this last weekend. So it's been more interactive than I thought it would be. So I'm actually meeting with these kids and, being able to have an influence with them, like in person and digitally. So it's a great program, and it's just a way to give back. Because as an athlete, you're not, I don't want to use the term selfish, but a lot of the times needs are based, it's your needs, and instead of this is a way to give back, essentially. So I think it's a great program, and I love doing it.
Great, well done, both of you. Okay, now back to more luge-specific questions. Summer, you are in, I would say, a bit of a groove right now. You've kind of found a nice run of runs. Tell us, what has led to this nice consistency that you've created for yourself over these first couple of races in January. Hello?
I bet the girls are on mute.
Sorry, I accidentally bumped the mute button.
No worries. Did you hear the question?
I did.
Okay, go for it.
I've been very happy with my results for the past few weeks. I think one of the things leading to that is taking away the sort of the stress of the Olympic qualification, and not really having that sort of looming overhead. Been able to just focus on sliding, really focusing on just dialing in the little things, and yes, consistency is what I'm shooting for, so I'm pretty happy.
Okay, and what will your frame of mind be, or try to be, as you go through these last 2 weeks of January?
I think really just keeping it the same. Just trying to take each race as an individual race, seeing what I can learn from it, focusing on how I can learn from the way that I've prepped throughout the week, whether it's which days I've lifted on leading up to the race and how I feel during the race, or what I've done in the last few days, what I eat, everything that I do in the week leading up to each race, I think is a learning experience to know sort of how I need to treat the week leading into the Olympics.
Okay, very good. Emily, you didn't race the past week in Oberhof. Maybe you can explain to us where you are with your recovery from a strained neck.
Yes, so that was definitely unfortunate. Last week, I definitely wasn't expecting that. The second day of training, I woke up with a stiff neck, and I thought no big deal. I went and I got some treatment on it before sliding, and then my second run that session, I just was going through, hit some pressure in a curve, and I felt it in my neck. Something kind of, I don't know. I imagine what a guitar string would look like if that felt like my muscle if you broke a guitar string and it kind of coiled up. So I got done, and I couldn't really move my head or my arm very much. But here we are 5 days later, and it's getting better. I still am not at 100%, but I'm excited and curious to see how sliding goes tomorrow.
Okay, very good, very good. Let's move over now to the men's side. Tucker, let's see what kind of a plan of attack now do you have for these last couple of weeks, and then going into South Korea?
The countdown's definitely on to the Olympics. I mean, every day needs to count from here on out. We've officially began our taper physically so that we can peak during the Olympics and have the fastest starts possible. We're constantly thinking about how to adjust the sled to really fine-tune it and find those extra few thousandths and hopefully hundredths and tenths. So, every move we make right now is fairly calculated, and every move is in, we have the Olympics in our sights.
Okay. And Taylor, obviously the team was nominated about a month ago today, December 16th. And so, you take the big deep breath after that. But there are teams that have been over the last couple of weeks still going through their selection process. Can you look at them at this point and then flash back to what you went through and say, man, am I glad that I'm not them?
Yeah, 100%. I'm really happy that I'm not in their position. It's extremely stressful, and you put a lot of outside pressure on yourself to perform and do the best that you possibly can. But these athletes are elite and mentally and physically prepared, and so every team's going to be putting forth the best effort and the best team. And a few of them were a couple of my friends. Emmanuel Reeder from the Italian team, he really stepped up and he solidified his spot. And Reinhard Eggert from the Austrian team, he did 2 top 8s in the last 2 World Cups, and he pulled through pretty big. So I'm really happy for those guys, and I'm super happy I'm not in their spot right now.
Okay. From the media, we'll take calls to any of the 6.
Hi, this is Jennifer from NBC 10 in Philadelphia. Summer, I don't know if you remember, you worked with my colleague Keith Jones a little bit recently, so we'll be out there together in Korea to see you guys out there and competing. You were talking a little bit about your routine and how important that is, and before you guys got on the call, we were talking about how a lot of your events are at night at the Olympics. Is that something that's going to change how you prepare?
Absolutely. The last 2 weekends, we've actually been lucky to have late afternoon races, which I think the biggest thing it changes is your sleep schedule. If you're racing at 8 a.m., you're going to want to wake up very early, going to bed very early. But if you're racing at the Olympics, I think our first run is 7 p.m. So I think the big thing I'm going to change is I'm going to adopt a very typically considered lazy sleep schedule. And I'm going to shoot for staying up pretty late, sleeping in as late as possible to try to acclimate my body to be trying to perform at that time. And to have the afternoon race, we're used to racing in the morning, so to have the afternoon race of the past 2 weeks was a little bit of an opportunity to sort of play with that and kind of get ready.
Other questions for any of the 6 athletes?
I also wanted to ask Summer about, so this is your second Olympics. I think I read that you were the youngest member of the team in 2014. So do you feel like the experience will help you out this time around?
I was the youngest woman on the team, but Tucker West and Aiden Kelly were actually a little bit younger than me. But we were all pretty young and dumb. I absolutely think the experience will help me out. Last time around, that was actually my first year on the World Cup tour. I had only been in Junior World Cups previously, so I was sort of this wide-eyed kid. I didn't really know sort of what to expect out of myself, and I didn't really know what others expected out of me. So I think now having 4 more years of experience will be hugely helpful going into these games.
Okay, we'll take other questions. Either from Elise or Jennifer, or we can keep the ball rolling here for a few more minutes.
I can start now. I was under the understanding that it would be at the end, but I'm
Yes. That's true. But it's possible we could get things going a little sooner. And I'll just ask a question of Erin. Last week was it for you in Germany? Was there any sense of nostalgia after all those years racing half a season in that country?
No, I haven't historically had my greatest results in Germany, so I've been on the podium a time or two, but it's not necessarily something that I'll be super sad about, I guess. It's definitely a big part of my career was racing in Germany, so thinking of it that way, it's pretty crazy that I'll never do that again or slide there either. So that's crazy, but I'm okay with it.
Okay. And Chris, do you believe in the neutral ice theory once we get to Korea? That it levels it out?
Yes and no. I feel that all the teams have had such sufficient training there that it's going to be neutral, but it's I don't know. I just have this feeling that whatever countries are doing really well right before the Olympics, they're the ones that typically perform, regardless of the location. And the home team of Korea, they haven't been a very strong luge nation in the past, so it's going to be pretty neutral. Everyone's going to have to make it through the 8-9 curve combination, and whoever can do that the best, I think, should have the best result.
Okay, very good. Any other questions for the singles athletes? And if not, then we can actually get Elise and our 3 women underway a little sooner. But we'll give you another chance if you want to have another question. Okay. Jennifer, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I look forward to seeing you all over in Korea.
Thank you, and good luck to your Eagles.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And Elise, if you want to stay on the call
Okay.
with our three women from the Olympic team, then here we go.
All right. Okay. Should I just start?
Yeah, you can get rolling, and Gordy and I can vacate the call, and you can talk away.
Okay, sure.
We're ready for you.
Okay.
Guys, so these are questions obviously for Summer, Erin, and Emily, and so they apply to all of you. So maybe before you speak, if you could just identify yourself, because it will be easier for me to take notes.
So first, I